Politics in the Middle East are at best baffling to most of us in the West. However, in the case of Iran, there is some clarity. That country sponsors groups like the terrorist Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, and the Houthi in Yemen. They also have close ties to Russia, China, and Venezuela. And in spite of everything that has happened in the last year, such as the war with Israel, the intervention of the United States, and the massive protests of the Iranian public against the mullahs, they are still dedicated to the pursuit of nuclear weapons and to the overthrow of the Western world, along with the total elimination of Israel and the Jewish race. In short, they are not our friends. In the past, when there have been public demonstrations against the ruling Islamist government, our own leaders have responded with a notable silence, expressing little, if any, moral support to the protesters. Under Donald Trump, that posture has changed. Not only did he offer public support for their efforts, he offered the Iranian anti-government movement more tangible support from the United States. But now, he has seemingly backed away from providing some of that assistance, at least in the short term. Why would that be? The first problem would be dealing with the potential retaliation from Iran. Other countries in the region and even Israel have asked the president not to go forward with any plans for military intervention at this point. There are fears that Iran would strike United States bases within our allies' border in the region, and that there might be a massive missile attack against Israel that their defenses wouldn't be able to contain. A second problem would be governance within Iran. Who would be in charge of the day-to-day ruling of the country? The Crown Prince, Reza Pahlavi, son of the former Shah of Iran, has generously offered to serve as the interim leader of the nation until another government under new authorities, or even under himself as the new Shah, can be formed. This is similar to the situation in Venezuela, as I explained in my video titled New Venezuelan Government, which is available on this channel. Also, please give this video a like and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Well, I am dubious about the possibility of the Crown Prince returning to Iran to govern. Pahlavi has not lived in Iran since 1978 when he was 17 years old. People there don't know him, and his father, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi's abuses of power were the principal reason for the overthrow of the previous government in the first place. I also question his willingness to give up the peacock throne once he gets there. When and if the current regime is deposed, there will almost certainly be increased terrorism in the country from the Islamist elements that have been displaced. It wouldn't be a stretch to imagine an interim leader, any interim leader, declaring a national emergency and suspending elections until the situation improves, which could be never. Finally, in the case of military intervention by the United States, what would their potential targets be? If there are any civilian casualties, it could easily turn popular opinion in Iran against the U.S. and even give the current government useful propaganda to use against the uprising. Perhaps the best option to govern the country would be someone within the Iranian military who is willing to coexist with the West. Of course, if any names emerged at this stage, they would certainly be arrested and probably executed by the current government. I believe the Iranians will overthrow their government, sooner rather than later. At least I hope so. It's an impossible situation for us to live with a country whose stated purpose is our annihilation. But clearly the revolution must come from within the country, and Trump best tread lightly. Any help we give cannot draw us into a war in that part of the world. I believe that Trump understands that. For now, my prayers go to the people of Iran. Stay tuned. This isn't over. This is Pablo el Molinero.